Hey guys, Dan the Man here again with Ralston Acres. It's time to set up for the sales season. We're beginning the fall season and we don't have but about 70 something days. I know that sounds like a lot, but to get ready for the crowd of people that's going to come and choose and cut their Christmas tree. So it's time for another video. Let's get into it. Okay, yes, it's time for another video. It's fall, and folks, it's on. The pressure, the the list of things to get done for sales season, it's here. It's here. We typically open about the weekend before Thanksgiving, and that doesn't give us a long time to get ready. And we've got a lot of stuff to get ready. As you can see behind me, what a mess. I mean, when we have stored stuff in here and put stuff in here that we say we'll get back to it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is today. We've got to get this stuff moved out, put in position, and get ready. We've got our stands that we are getting ready to put out. We do sell stands here, and I suggest that if you're a choose and cut operation, you might want to look into that. We've got I've built these right here out of dowels and different size dowels and just a piece of scrap. And this is what we're going to hang some of our ornaments on. We've got another thing we're going to hang ornaments on. I'm going to turn this camera around here, and I think you can see what some of the shelving that we're going to have. The shelving that we're going to be putting, I call them knickknacks and jams and candles and lights and all that good stuff. And uh, it takes a while to get all this stuff organized and put in place. So I'm just going to tell you a few things about setting up that I think when you get ready to start selling Christmas trees, you at least have this going through your mind. You at least have to look at what do I need to do in order to properly take care of my customers when they come in and offer them something, maybe even besides a tree. These are all add-ons, I call them. The things in the gift shop, even the wreaths are somewhat of an add-on because people come for the tree, and then when they get their tree, okay, well, they've got wreaths that you can look at, and a lot of times they'll buy a wreath, or it might be I need a stand, or I need a waterer, or and I'll show you what a waterer is in just a second, or maybe I'll need an ornament. And matter of fact, on ornaments, a custom ornament with your farm name on it, it sells pretty good. And that way it gives people a reminder to come and see you next year for their Christmas tree. So let me show you some other things about setting up that might be something that you need to think about. Okay, before we get too much further, I wanted to show you some ideas that we've picked up from other Christmas tree farms as it applies to pre-cuts. Now, a pre-cut would be a tree that you purchased at another farm, whether it be a tree you can't grow here, like for example, we can't grow Fraser firs here, so we have to bring those in from North Carolina, or a Douglas fir, which we can't grow here, and we have to bring those in from, yes, Oregon. And so, there has to be a place to display them and to keep them in water and keep them fresh. So I was going to show you a couple of ideas. This is something that I borrowed from I borrowed the idea from a Christmas tree farm in Portland, Tennessee, Christmas Tree Adventures. Thank you, Justin. The It's basically just two pallets that are cleaned up and pretty nice, and I put some 2x4 bracing on here between the pallets, some cut 2x4s in the middle to sort of keep it braced, and then I've added this one thing. I put, since it's going to be inside and on concrete, I added a brace at the bottom. It's just an untreated 2x6 that I had laying around the farm, so it makes a pretty stable display. You say, well, how are you going to display them? Well, I'm going to have tree hangers. Then they make these special tree hangers that you can buy from the suppliers that supply a lot of your Christmas tree accessories, tree hangers, water stands. They do all this. But I'm going to put the tree hangers and hang them over this 2x4 right here, and they're going to sit out here, and they basically will clamp to the tree. And at the bottom down here, I'm going to have a pot that's about, maybe it holds maybe a gallon and a half of water, and keep that tree in water and keep it fresh. And it'll also be out here easily displayed for the customer to walk around, look at it, and this kind of thing. Now there's another type of stand or display that I use, and I'm going to sort of use a little bit of time here to turn it around. Okay, you can see that, I think. This is, I call it my tree trough. Basically, it is I made a rectangle out of some 2x6s, and I actually, you can put plastic, a heavy meal plastic underneath. You could put, I put a pool liner underneath that, because this barn used to be on gravel. The floor was gravel. It is now concrete. Yeah, that was an expensive venture. But anyway, uh, the heavy meal plastic holds the water in, and then I have sort of built me a little brace right here to where that I can lean the tree up on that, and the tree stump stays in the water. So it just sort of leans the tree up. I use these for Douglas firs or another tree that might not, it might be thicker, and it really doesn't do well with hangers. So I can just lean the tree up, and if a customer comes by and they want to see a tree, all they have to do is just bring it out just like this right here, and they can look at the tree and pick it out if they so desire. So, getting this ready didn't happen overnight. I had to build these, I had to build this. So, and again, the problem comes, okay, you built it. What are you going to do with them next year? How are you going to protect them over the next year? So I built these so that I could come in with I built them with screws so that I could come in and just unscrew everything and store the material and have it ready for next year. These right here are a little bit harder to store. Sometimes I've left them in the barn all year, but with the multiple uses that I'm going to have for this barn, I may have to go more toward the pallet idea as opposed to these. So just another thing in setting up and getting ready for your customers. Now, we've got a ton of boxes to unpack and get ready before and setting this thing up. This is going to be our gift shop, and having to set everything up in here is going to take us several days. But one of the things I did want to show you, especially when new growers and older growers too, is the netting. Um, this is the netting. This is what I call a bale of netting. This what comes to you from the Christmas tree supply store. Um, I happen to get these from Fraser and All. There's Evans Christmas tree products. There's Velsman Sons in Atlanta that serve Georgia. All these three serve both Georgia and Tennessee. But the netting and everything is important to have ready, because you don't want to run out of netting when you're in the middle of your Christmas tree season. Um, and that has happened to some growers before. Let me get this out of the way so that you can see a little bit. I happen to choose the red and white netting. This is made by the Kirk Company. This is a 26-inch, because we do this for the bigger trees. And these are actually, this is a bale. It actually comes 3 sleeves to a bale. And I figured that when we get this netting together, we should be able to net somewhere close to 2,000 trees. Um, I probably won't use it all. I had some left over from last year, but you want to um, sort of figure how many feet of netting you're going to need, and how many trees you think you're going to sell, and that can go into how much netting that you buy. But this is the 26-inch for your bigger trees. I have also the 23-inch, which is for your smaller trees. We have the tree stands that I think I showed you one before. Let me run right here real quick and get one. Yeah, this is the tree. This is a tree stand that we sell. There's several different kinds. There's a pen stand that has the pen in the middle. There's also, these are made by a company called Cinco, Cinco. This is the Cinco Express. It is a little bit faster getting the tree in and out. You don't have to always turn these little knobs. You can actually slide them in and out on the Express. They make another one that is um, a little, you don't slide these, you just screw them in and out. But this is a good quality stand. And we do sell these, and generally on some sizes we sell out every year. Um, let me see what else that I have here. Oh, I do want to show you a water. This is probably one of the more talked about accessories that we have. This is, I think the particular company that does this is Santa's Favorite Funnel. There's different names for different companies that will make these, but basically what you've got is a long handled funnel, and you stick this into the side of the tree. Sort of, it's green, so you can sort of hide it in the back of the tree or whatever. And you actually can put, let me see if I can get this. You can actually put water in that right there, and it funnels down to the stand so that you, and how do you know that you've got water in the stand? Well, it's just like the old straw principle. You can you can put your finger over the end of this right here. This is like a long straw. And when it's down into that all the way through, and this is in the stand, it comes out the bottom right here. And what happens is you put your finger over it and you can take this out and you can see how much water is actually in the stand, as long as you hold pressure on the top right here. And this tells you, okay, I don't have enough water, or I have plenty of water, or whatever. You know, these right here, I can't remember the exact cost of them. Somewhere around, I don't know, 6, 7 bucks. But just about everybody that buys a tree at some point will get a waterer. It does save the old back. And the older you get, the more likely you are to buy a tree waterer. These are wreath making tables right here. Um, you know, we do have some wreaths that we bring in, but if you're going to be starting a Christmas tree farm, I suggest that at some point, maybe if not the first year, the second year at least, start with telling your customers that you're going to have wreaths for them to buy. Most of the customers I have sort of come to expect the fact that we're going to make wreaths. They like sitting, or not sitting, standing here and watching um, us make the wreaths. There are some wreaths that we get in pre-made. Quite frankly, we can't keep up with the crowd that would want a wreath by just sitting here and making them, because it takes somewhere, and I've got good wreath makers. It'll take them about, say 30 minutes to 40 minutes, depending upon how many bows and pine cones and things like that the person might want. It takes them a while to make these. So when you have a crowd of a couple of hundred people looking through and trying to decide if they want a wreath or not, you better have some that are pre-made uh, before you start selling. And most of the companies that you buy pre-cuts through will offer some pre-made wreaths, where maybe all you have to do is add a bow or something along that line. But these are the tables, and I have the wire rings. Basically, it's just a wire ring with little clamps on it. Let me see. I don't know if I can pull. Yes, I can. This is an old one, but you see it's just a wire ring, and it has these clamps. These clamps, this one here has actually been used, uh, but these clamps, you take pieces of the greenery and you stick it in there by the clamps, and the machine here, or machine, the foot pedal and the clamp here will clamp them together to hold that the greenery in this ring, and it makes a real nice looking Christmas tree wreath. Another thing that we do during the sales season that's often overlooked is to make sure that our machinery that we use to process the trees is in good working order. This happens to be our shaker. Basically, we set that tree in this shaker, and it shakes the tree, and it'll shake debris out of it. No, it doesn't shake out bugs, or it doesn't shake out chipmunks or anything like that. But it will shake out a lot of debris, a lot of maybe dead grass or anything that happened to be up around the stump. It shakes all that stuff out, and it prepares the tree for transportation home. This is very important. Debris can start getting built up inside this machine around the motor or around one of the gears that shake this tree, and you don't want that. You want to make sure it's as free from all that debris as you can possibly get. And it's not really difficult to clean, but it does take about 10 to 15 minutes. This depends on how many trees you had before. This little machine over here is our tree drill. This has a drill that will drill straight up into the tree for a pin stand, which is a stand that has a pin in the middle, and you set the tree down on that pin. Um, this needs to be in working order too. Trust me, I've had an older machine that I did not take care of. Shame, shame. And it quit right in the middle of our sales season, and we even had to use a hand drill, and that's not what you want to really use if you can get around it. But this machine right here is what we used, and it also needs to be the motor is right out front. Just make sure it's clean, and make sure your drill bit is secured inside its position, and make sure that your cords and everything are safe and not frayed from the weather or from somebody clipping it with something. But that is important, and making sure your machinery is well preserved for your sale season. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of things to do in setting up for your Christmas tree selling season. We've only scratched the surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this video part one. Part two will come in our next video. It'll talk a little bit about the actual pricing of the trees and how we do the checking out procedure and this kind of thing. So stay tuned for that. But until then, thank you for watching. We do appreciate it. Please, if you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button. It can only help me. It doesn't cost you a penny. Please do that. It does help us in future videos. And also the like button, if you like the content, please hit that, and feel free to leave us comments about things that you might want to see in future videos. And we'll be happy to try to get those on for you as we can schedule them. So until next time, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next version of Farming Around the Christmas Tree.